Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. So today I got the Samsung Galaxy S10 and the good old Samsung Galaxy S8, and today we are going to compare these two devices to each other, so stay tuned for that. Right guys, so here on the left side we got the Samsung Galaxy S8, which is the Exynos variant, and on the right side we got the Samsung Galaxy S10, the normal regular S10, which is also the Exynos variant. So you can see both of the phones have almost the same setup. I've also installed the same apps on both devices, so we are basically going to do a normal speed comparison. And yeah, but first of all I want to show you that both of the phones are running on Android Pie, so let me do that quickly. So here we are in the software information menu, and here you can see that both of the phones are running on One UI. So the S10 is running on One UI version 1.1, where the Galaxy S8 is on 1.0. So we don't know if the Samsung Galaxy S8 will get One UI version 1.1 or not. So Samsung may push One UI version 1.1 to the Samsung Galaxy S8, but they also couldn't, so we don't know it yet. You can also see that both of the phones are already running on Android Pie, so you can install the update on your Samsung Galaxy S8 with watching my previous video. So I've done a video about showing you how to install Android Pie on the Samsung Galaxy S8. The S10, of course, already comes with Android Pie on board. Right guys, so now let us start with the comparison. Right people, so first of all I want to show you that I haven't opened any apps in the background, and I also want to prove you that I haven't opened the power saving mode on both phones. So here you can see the power saving mode on the S8 is turned off, and the power saving mode on the S10 is turned off as well. Right, so these here are the apps which I want to test. You can see that I will start with some basic apps like the dialer, the clock app, the calculator. Then we are going to move to the a bit bigger apps like Picsart, and then we are moving on to the games like Dune, Subway Surfers, and then to the heaviest game on the list, which is GTA Vice City. So I also want to say you that the S10 has got a big advantage, of course. I mean, this here is a 2019 phone with the latest processor of Samsung, while this one here has already got two big Android upgrades, and this is also 2 years old. So the S10 has got a big advantage here, but you also need to keep in mind is that in real life you won't notice a big difference if the S10 opens the apps a few milliseconds faster. So if you open the dialer app, for example, and if the S10 opens the dialer app a few milliseconds faster than the S8, you won't notice the difference in real life. Right, so now let us start with the comparison with the dialer in 3, 2, 1. And here you can see that the S10 was faster, but as I've said, this was a really small difference. The S8 opened the app directly after the S10. There was almost no difference between these phones. The S10 loaded it a few milliseconds faster, so this won't be a big difference in real life. Let's move on to the clock app in 3, 2, 1. And the S10 opens the app faster. Let's move on to the calculator in 3, 2, 1. Again, the same, so 3-0 for the Samsung Galaxy S10. Now let us move on to the camera in 3, 2, 1. And you can see that the S8 had a bigger animation here, but the time while they loaded the camera was almost the same. Let's move on to the calendar. Here you can see the S10 was the winner again. Samsung Music. So here you can see that the S10 was faster again, but you need to keep in mind that I have a few music tracks on the S8, while the S10 has a completely empty binary. The My Files app in 3, 2, 1. The S10 was the winner again, but the difference was really close, and you can also see that the S8 had some recent files to load. So the S8 had a few more elements to load, and even though it had a few more elements to load, I mean the difference was almost zero. Right, let's move on to the bigger app, to Picsart. So I will open it in offline mode, and you can see that the S10 has already opened the app, and the S8 took a few more seconds. So this was the first time where we saw that the S8 was much slower than the S10. Let's open our first game, which is Dune. And here you can also see that the S10 has loaded the game much faster than the S8. So there was a big difference. Now let's try Subway Surfers. So here we got the same results. So as you can see, the S10 has loaded the game and the S8 took a few more seconds. And now let us try our heaviest app which we have on board, which is GTA Vice City. So here you can see that the S8 has opened the app just a few milliseconds faster than the S8, but the game won't start directly, so we need to start it manually. I will start a new game in 3, 2, 1. And the S10 has loaded the game. And the S8 has loaded the game also. So, to conclude, we can say that in real life, if you don't play games and if you don't use heavy apps like Picsart, Vice City, GTA Vice City and other games, the S8 is still a really great phone. So you were able to see that the S8 loaded the apps almost as fast as the S10, so there was only a difference of a few milliseconds, but we also saw that if we open heavier apps like Picsart or some other games, the S8 definitely takes more time to open these apps. And so if you are a heavy user who uses a lot of heavy apps, the S10 is definitely a better choice for you. But of course, the S8 is still not a bad phone. I mean, there are a lot of bullshit phones out there in the market which, you know, take minutes to open a game. So the S8 is still a really nice phone, and if you do some simple stuff, you never need the Galaxy S10. So the S8, or maybe even older phones like the S7 Edge and so on, are all enough for some basic stuff. Right, so now let us check the multitasking tests. So in 3, 2, 1, and you can see both of them kept in storage. Now let's move on to the alarm. Both of them kept the alarm in storage, which is nice to see. Now let us open the calculator. Both of them kept in storage. Now let us try the camera. So you can see both of them kept in storage. Now the calendar. Both of them kept in storage, but the S8 took a few more milliseconds to load the app again. Now let us try Samsung Music. So here you can see the S8 loaded the app again. Now let us try My Files. Both of them kept the My Files app in storage. Let's try our first game, Dune. Both of them kept Dune in storage, which is amazing. Let's move on to the last app, which was Subway Surfers. Both of them kept it in storage, and GTA. So here you can see GTA is still running on both phones, which is really amazing. So you can see that in terms of multitasking, the S8 is also a really great phone. So it loaded only one app again, which was Samsung Music, and I don't think that, I mean, this is a really big problem. So in terms of multitasking, the S8 is still a really good phone, even though it has only got 4 GB of RAM, while the S10 has 8 GB of RAM. So there's a big difference. I mean, this one here is double the space of this one here, and even though this one here has double the amount of RAM, the S8 is still able to keep almost all apps in storage without problems. So multitasking is really good on the S8, but of course the S10 is better. So the S10 won't load any apps in the background until you open a lot of apps. But of course, the speed is not the only factor when you make your choice to buy a new phone. There are a lot of different factors, like the features of the phone and disadvantages of the phone. So the S10 has tons of new stuff here. So you can see we got the punch hole camera on the top right corner, and the S10 hasn't got the fingerprint on the back. The S10 has got the fingerprint sensor under the display. So this here is a really nice thing. So every time when you unlock your, if your phone is on the table and if you want to unlock your phone, you basically need to press on your phone's display with your thumb. On the S8 it's basically not possible, so you cannot unlock your phone without taking it to the hands, because the fingerprint scanner is on the back of the phone. So this is something which is nice, but you also have the iris scanner on the Samsung Galaxy S8, which is not present on the Samsung Galaxy S10. So they have removed the iris scanner on the Samsung Galaxy S10, which is a missing feature here. Another nice thing on the S8 is that the fingerprint sensor can also be used as a second control thing. So you can enable some fingerprint gestures here, so you can pull down a notification panel with using this fingerprint reader. You can see it works really great. It's basically not possible on the Samsung Galaxy S10 because we haven't got any fingerprint scanner on the back of this phone. So every time when you want to pull down a notification panel on the S10, you will need to go all the way up and pull the notification panel from the top. And on bigger phones like the Galaxy Note 9 or the S9 Plus, it's sometimes not that easy to go all the way up to pull the notification panel. So I am using this feature very, very often, and it's basically not present on the Samsung Galaxy S10. So this is something which you will definitely miss if you use this feature. Another bad thing or another disadvantage of the Samsung Galaxy S10 is its punch hole display. So here on the Galaxy S8 you can see you got a normal display without any hole there, etc. And here we got our camera inside the display, and this means that if you play games, for example, you can see there's a big black bar over there, which, you know, annoys me a lot. And the biggest reason why it annoys me is that on the right side we have some rounded corners, and on the left side they are not rounded, as you can see. Here we have the camera, and because of that we have a black bar over there, so this basically does not look that nice, and it's basically there in all games, and even if you play videos, etc. with your Samsung Galaxy S10. So this is something which I actually didn't like that much. And also something which you need to keep in mind is that the status bar of the S10 is a bit bigger. So for example, if you go to the settings on both phones, you can see there's a bigger space here on the top of the Galaxy S10 than on the S8. So, the camera, as you can see, is quite big, and due to that they also, they were forced to make the status bar bigger. So this is also something which I personally don't like that much, but hey, there was no other solution for Samsung. Right, and you can also see my second camera here. No, this is just my profile picture, but you can also use your punch hole on the Galaxy S8 here if you use a profile picture in the settings. So this looks really amazing if you ask me. But yeah, so this here was my video about the Samsung Galaxy S10 and the Galaxy S8. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, guys. If you didn't like this video, give it a dislike as always. And yeah, peace out.